Hello and welcome back to Grovecat. This time around, what I'm going to do is a 10 episode series on the Law of One. This one is something that I've came across a little bit later in my life compared to the Urantia book. So this one, the Law of One, well, you'll see. So let's start with it. So first off, I'd say this is a very interesting book that I've came across. That one was online. Unlike the Urantia book, I do not have a physical copy of the Law of One because it's available online. So and it's free. So and the link will always be down in the description as usual, as you already know. All right, so what is it exactly? Well, something like this is, I'd say, in general, if you're curious about the big question like why are we here, what's the universe all about, well, this series is definitely for you. It's much less, I would say, much less complex than the previous 10 series we've had, so it's much more accessible, in my opinion, anyway, than the other one. So let's go with it. Okay, so what is exactly the Law of One? Well, this is a book that came from a group of people that were talking to a being named Ra. And Ra isn't a person like you and me. It's actually, he's described as a super wise spiritual being from a higher level of existence. And it's kind of a guide from another dimension, if you want. And the book says that Ra comes from the planet Venus, but not the Venus that we have in space today. It's a kind of a spiritual version of Venus. Okay, and yes, if you are familiar with the name Ra, it's the same name as the Egyptian god. So I think that's cool. The way Ra's message was sent to us, if you want, is through something that is called channeling. So if you don't know what channeling is when someone lets a spiritual being talk through them, and it's a little bit like you become a radio, if you want, and that picks up the signal that comes from quite far away. In this case, from another dimension, if you want. So in the 1980s, there's three people, which is Carla Ruckert, Don Elkin, and Jim McCarthy. They worked together in a group called LL Research. Carla would go into a deep, calm state, like a trance, if you want, and Ra would share ideas through her. Don asked the questions, and Jim helped keep everything safe and organized and written down and all of that. So together they recorded over 100 different conversations, and those became what we know as the Law of One. Okay, now let's talk about the general idea of what is, what's the big idea of the Law of One. Basically, what it says is all is one, and that one is actually love, light, love, something like this. And which is related to what they call the infinite creator. So, what does that mean actually? Well, imagine something in the universe, like everything actually in the universe, like you, me, the stars, the trees, even your pet dog, cat, whatever, is part of one big thing, and that big amazing thing, if you want, um, is like it's made out of a giant light, made of love and energy. Well, that energy is love, kind of the two mixed together. And what it they call it the infinite creator. So that light, love, energy that is everywhere is actually the infinite creator, where things get created from. It's like saying the whole universe actually is a big family, and love and light is connecting all of us together. So that's another that's an idea that I personally really like. That idea. This idea at the heart of the law of one um, tells us that we are all connected. Actually, when you understand this, that we are all connected regardless of where we are, who we are, what we are, this changed a lot of um, how we actually see the world, right? So, it, in a way, it really fits into the esoteric spirituality, and if you want, it's a different way to explore mysterious ideas about life and the universe and what goes beyond actually regular religion or science. So this one is actually transcending or going above what is religion, what is shown as religion and or science. Okay, so how this series will be organized, a little bit like the other one I've done before. It's going to be 10 different episodes where I'm going to explore different interesting parts of the law of one. We'll talk about things like the different levels of the universe, which they call densities, and how we grow spiritually through them, and how to use these ideas to be a better person, which is, I think, a good goal. So each episode will break down one big idea into simple pieces, because that's another one. It's kind of different to read. It's kind of challenging at times to read. Um, Mind blown a lot of times. So I wanted to divide it into digestible pieces. I'd say that. And also, we will talk about different tips that we can try. For example, some meditating or thinking about love and light, and how all this actually works together. So, whether you're new to all of this esoteric jargon, I try to keep it as simple as possible. But even if you're new, or if you are way into spiritual stuff, if you haven't seen or read the law of one, it will give you definitely new ways to think about the world. Okay, so why should anybody care about the law of one? That's a fair question. Well, it's because it's kind of a guidebook for understanding life mysteries. Like when you understand the world through the teachings of the law of one, you can actually understand way more or way more deeply what's going on in this world. So it can also help you feel more connected to the world because you finally understand it and find even peace inside yourself and maybe even discover our own spiritual path. Plus, it's just really interesting to think, anyway, I think so, that it is interesting to think about the universe in a new way. And if you like shows about space, magic, or big question, you'll definitely love this one for sure. Okay, so that's it for today, for this episode. So we learn here about the law of one. So it's the first, if some of you it's your first contact with the law of one, well, this is it. And it gives you a little bit of an idea of what it is, how it was created through channeling by LL Research, which is, again, the link right below there. And the big idea that everything is one, the law of one, right? And it's connected to love and light. So every episode will have the link of LL Research, so you can download it. It's free, and you can have the Law of One and read it as at your own leisure if you so choose. So next time we'll dive into what unity, yeah, really means, and why is it so powerful. So if you're excited, well, hit that subscribe button for sure, and leave us a comment. I try to read them all. Actually, I do read them all right now, anyway, since I can. And tell me what you think about the idea of everything being one. So, see you in episode 2. Take care.